Let me out. I've been watching you for a minute. Hola. Hola, 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 hola. 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 I'm live, y'all. I'm live. I want to talk about something important. I mean, something that's been like weighing on me for a couple of days now. I didn't really want to go live about this certain topic. I mean, I do express myself on the topic, but as far as this topic, this situation at hand. Tune in. So, I'm waiting for a viewer so I can start. Hi, Jamel. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Hi, all 4 viewers that are watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Jaquan. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I wanted to, like, this has been, like, I have been, like, not sleeping because of this matter at hand, and I feel like I need to talk about it. I don't want to offend nobody here. This is not to defend any community. But the message needs to get across. Period. Hi, everybody. Hi, Miss Kelly. Hola. Hi, Jaquan. Hi, Jamel Foster. How are you? How everybody doing? How everybody's holding up? God bless all of you. What y'all doing? Y'all stuck in the house, right? Y'all listening? Are y'all in the house? Are y'all listening? Hi, Mr. Blackfoot. Are y'all listening? Y'all listening and staying home? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. 10 viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I feel like I have enough so far. Let people catch it, I guess. Thank you, Jay Dollars, for tuning in. Okay, so I did a video. As y'all know, I do videos. Thank you, Dow, for tuning in. I do videos here and there when I want to express something that needs to be heard in the community, or just in general that's important and needs to be expressed. So I've been doing that, and I got a comment. Well, I got somebody reached out to me. Somebody I know personally reached out to me and was like, we had a conversation. In the middle of the conversation, he had asked me, why is it that you defend the African American community so much? And I said, come again? I was pretty appalled. I said, huh? He said, why is it that you always defend the African American community so much? He was like, you're not even African American. He was like, and they don't care. He was like, they don't care. He was like, you defend them. He was like, they don't care. They don't care to say, like, yeah, that's what's up, or, just embrace it or like it or anything. They don't care to acknowledge it. They don't care. So I was like, what? So we had a conversation. He said, do you know the difference between nationality, ethnicity, and race? Yes, home, no work for almost 2 months. Wow, Miss Kelly. Laisha, thank you for tuning in. I really need you, Laisha. I really need you on this topic. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. How you doing, mamas? God bless you. How's the baby? I'm just, like I said, just to touch you up, Laisha, I do live videos on what I'm passionate about, situations and, things that's at hand, things that needs to be addressed in the community. I try to look out the best way I can. Each one, teach one. Okay. So I had made a live video. I had somebody, an individual that I know personally, reach out to me. Okay. He's defines himself as black and Dominican. He's Dominican. Hi, Marisol. How you doing? So I got an inbox saying, Edith, why is it that you always defend the African American community? Mira, Wahira. Hi, Zumba, Marisol. God bless you, mommy. So he said, why is it that you always defend the African American community? And I said, excuse me? He said, yeah, you're not African American. Why do you defend them? So I said, what do you mean I'm not African American? He goes into telling me, do you know the difference between nationality, ethnicity, and race? So we go over that, right? So nationality, for people who don't know, nationality is the nation you pledge, where you're born, right? So I would be American, right? Because that's where I'm born. Or anybody who's born in America. Whether you're Puerto Rican, Dominican, whatever. If you're born in America, your nationality, where you pledge, your flag, is America. That's what nationality means. Your nation, okay? Your ethnicity means your culture. Your culture. What you grew up on. So if you are Dominican and you are born in America, you are an American. And if you were raised of salsa, merengue, bachata, and eating plátano, manduro, arroz con dulces, your nationality would be Puerto Rican, right? So I'm American. My nationality would be Panamanian. I have a Panamanian father. I grew up understanding Spanish, hearing Spanish. I know how to talk Spanish. I understand it fluently. I speak Spanglish, New York Rican, and I cook Spanish food. So my nationality, yes, I can say I'm Panamanian, yes. And I can also say I'm black and white. I'm black. My mother is mulatto, period. And I grew up eating soul food. So my race now, your race is what defines your features. That is your race, okay? There's only 5 races in this world. If black, white, Hispanic, and Asian, 4, okay? So if you are, white, blonde hair, blue eyes, smaller nose, small, tiny lips, you would be, of course, white. That would be your race, right? If you are somebody that looks like me, you're brown skin, you have the wide eyes, I have, African features, my race is black. Even if you were Hispanic, right? And you had my features, your race would be black. Your ethnicity can be Spanish, but your race, your features, your bloodline, how you got those features, you would be called black as far as your race. So we went over that. So everybody clear on that? Nationality, ethnicity, and race. The difference between the 3, right? I hope so. He goes to say to me, Kelly, you crazy. We all got our own race. And we all human at the end of the day. And what I'm about to talk about it shouldn't be going on. It needs to be talked about because people need to be enlightened, but it should not be going on. He went to saying that he has a problem with being with African American. He said, I used to be all for the African American community, blah, blah, blah. He said, and I think I'm still pro-black. He said, because I'm black. I guess he's talking about his race. So I said, okay, what's the problem with African Americans? What's the problem that people have with African American? Okay, that's what we started talking about. I said, because everybody from what society has put on the black man makes it seem like he's a bad person. Period. He said, no. The problem is with African Americans, right, that we hold... that he feel like we hold the black card. We hold the black card where we can tell him that he's not black. He said, so because I had a different slave master and I speak a different language than you, I'm not black. He said, y'all tend to forget that we all are of African descent. That's the bottom line. We all was placed around every place. No, there's not one place on this earth, no one piece of soil that an African hasn't touched. Period. We all been scattered around this earth, right? We all speak different languages, okay? He goes to say, and then African Americans want this pity party. I'm tired of them complaining because it makes all of us as a whole look bad. I said, excuse me? Yeah, they always, they don't want to get over slavery. They act like they were the only slaves that existed. He said, okay, there was Dominicans, there were slaves in Dominicans, they don't talk about that. They only talk about the African American slaves. There were slaves in Puerto Rico, they don't talk about that. They only talk about the African American slaves. There were slaves in this place, in that place. He kept going on, but how we don't acknowledge them being slaves and them as our, as our brother and sister, that we just acknowledge us. Are you kidding me? Thank you. I said, I understand kind of where you're coming from, where there's kind of anger towards that, where you feel like, who are you to tell me I'm not black? Like, I'm not black enough for you because I speak a different language, or I'm not dark enough? I get that. Fact. He said, that's the problem with y'all. He was like, y'all want to handle that black card, but y'all going to be all by yourself because nobody don't want to fuck with y'all. Y'all going to be, he was like, that's why Spanish people are becoming more over you. Spanish people are becoming more of a population than you. You're becoming the minority. I said, pause. What? What? Well, he wasn't saying like me. He was saying them. Because he kept continuously telling me that I'm not African American. Okay? I said, okay. And I said, I'm highly offended by this. I'm highly offended by it. Because at the end of the day, you don't have a right to tell me what the fuck I am. Anybody. Nobody does. Nobody. Period. At the end of the day, when I go outside, my skin is black, sweetie. My skin is brown. At the end of the day, to society's eyes, I am an African American. No matter what language I speak, no matter what food I cook, I'm still an African American to society, to the white man. And I don't mean no offense to any white people in here. But let's just be honest. Period. That's just what it is. And what you fail to realize, that's how they look at all of us. That's how they look at all of us. Black or brown. Now they got the term brown to make the Latinos feel more comfortable because you don't want to be called black, some of you. So whether you're black or brown, the white man looks at you as a nigger, an African American. Period. He was like, he was like, you don't ever hear Brazilian slaves had it worse. There's other slaves and the slavery still going on in other countries that have it worse. And they don't complain, but we complain. I said, who's complaining? African Americans been stopped complaining, sweetie, about how we were treated. Because that will never change. You don't ever see that. There's too many African Americans are more richer than white people now. You have more African American people that are richer than white people. So who's complaining? The only time you see African American talking about African American is to enlighten us and to enlighten you, period. Period. We're not talking about, we got suppressed and we couldn't do this and we couldn't get that. Bitch, that's 60 something years ago. We was heard about that. Period. We talk about now how we can join them. Not join them like that. But watch how we can understand this system and how white supremacy work and how we can align ourselves and become successful just like you. We got banks now. 2 first black-owned banks opened by a woman last year. We got schools now. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That the black African-American person sits on a petty pot. What? Maybe I said that's supremacy getting to your mind. Just like I used to say with Black Lives Matters. I thought I was the only person who was woke on that shit. Until I looked at Candace Owens. That's my twin right there. Our birthdays are a date apart. We're beast. Okay? That Black Lives Matter? I ain't feed into that shit. Oh, now so much police brutality. Now they want to make this thing called Black Lives Matter so we could suppress. So we could suppress and feel bad. No. That is a conspiracy, that Black Lives Matter. And I'm glad people are woke on that shit. That's nothing but a conspiracy. First female pilot, thank you. Yes. You know the first time men went up to space? Who wrote the formula for them to get there? Was black women. I love your knowledge and the way you speak so many facts. Thank you, Miss Kelly. Thank you. And you know I come from the heart. I only mean well. Don't hate nobody at the end of the day. But the truth is the truth. Period. And he's a Dominican. What he said about Puerto Ricans now. What he said about Puerto Ricans, I won't even display on the screen. And what hurt me was that's somebody I know. That's supposed to be, a friend that I knew from way back. Hi, Yashira, I love you, boo. God bless you. And he talks so bad about the Boricuas. I'm like, I have a Puerto Rican daughter. What are you talking about? I got Puerto Ricans in my family. What are you talking about? Me and my siblings don't share the same father. My father's Panamanian. Some of my siblings' fathers are African Americans. So that means my siblings are African Americans, and you talking shit about African American people like they slum. That's why he said, that's why no race, Puerto Ricans, Jamaican, nobody want to be associated with African Americans because they give us a bad name. Because then the white man is going to look at us. He said that we fuck up their money. How we fuck up your money if we the ones that's successful? We the ones that own banks and shit now. So how we fucking up your money? You better jump on a fucking bandwagon. You equal to us. How we fucking up your shit? How? And then won't have to PR and DR always have drama. Exactly. I know that, Marisol, I know that. But what was said about the descent of Puerto Rican and where they come from? And even how like Hispanic people was not even really a race, like a nationality, that it was just populated less than 100 years ago. It was out of control, this conversation. It was out of control. He said black people, African Americans never got themselves out of nothing. You had the white man get you out of slavery. I said, what? So there was no civil right? We didn't get ourselves out of slavery? What do you call the Underground Railroad? What do you call Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth? Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. Let me name... hold on. Ira Aldridge, Muhammad Ali. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Maya Angelou. What are you talking... I have a whole list. He said that sweetie, we invented... They had enough to say... Oh, and then y'all want to jock that. Y'all forgot y'all. Oh, we were I said, at the end of the day, we can jock that black card. That's our culture. We can jock that black card. Why not? Everything else was stolen from the African American man. He tried to make us basically seem like as if we African Americans were nothing. I said, so you're saying that an African American man is different than an African? Bitch, are you dumb? An African American man isn't African. The reason why the word American is slapped on it is because he was stolen from the white man and brought to America. Are you crazy? And the reason why black is a culture, boo-boo. Yes, the fuck it is. Black is a culture. Hi, Cornell. Oh my gosh. We talking about a lot. Talking about we didn't free ourselves. Really? We didn't free ourselves. I think we freed ourselves from a lot of shit. Hell, we went like he said, oh, I said, African American, their culture was stolen from them, stripped. An African who's an African American, has no culture. Black is our culture. And everybody want to steal that shit too. Well, what you mean everybody want to steal that shit? Yeah, because when he took us off boat, every nationality got their culture, right? Puerto Ricans speak Spanish, they got their culture. Dominicans speak Spanish, they got their culture. Haitians got their culture. Jamaicans everybody got their culture except of the African American man that was taken from home. Period. We had the white man's language. We had the white man's religion. We didn't have our own. He goes, oh, and whose fault is that? You came to America and you ain't even create your own culture? But he was like, look how superior you were, but didn't do it in America. In Dominican Republic, you guys created bachata. You created the Congo. That comes from Africa. You created everybody's culture, but your own, is what he told me. I said, I think we did create a culture down here. I think we did. Everybody jocks our culture. Let's not talk about entertainment business alone. We own the entertainment business. The black is the entertainment. Always has been. So what do you mean? They haven't dropped our, we haven't made our own culture. What? What are you talking about? Soul food is our culture, sweetie. Jazz, hip hop, R&B, all of that. Reggae, that's our culture. What are you talking about? Like, really, like, how dare you say some shit like that? Oh, as if that's our fault. I said, it's so crazy that we did create our own. Everybody builds off black people. Thank you. Everybody builds off black people. So what didn't we create, honestly? And for you to be a Dominican person, and I'm not, like I said, I'm Hispanic too. I don't mean no shade at all. But out of the whole Spanish community, the Dominican person is the most racist person that I have encountered within our community. For real. And a couple of South American people, because I'm South American Spanish. I'm Panamanian. You meet some, very few. You meet real ignorant. You gotta have them real ignorant South American people. The ones kind of with the light hair, the blonde hair and blue eyes, and think that they're not black. Those type. Those type. Yeah, you got a few of them. But other than that, most of them all know that they're African descent, period. Whether it's 3%, 4%, 5%, you know where you started from, period. He needs to learn Puerto Rican, Taino Indians, and African and Spain. That's where we come from. Exactly. As far as, when we broke down the anatomy of the Puerto Rican people, he said the Puerto Ricans are just majority of a European. That's it. He was like, and they came here. The reason why they went to Puerto Rico and how they got to Puerto Rico, I'm not going to disclose that. But he said that they got there to that plantation. And the Africans were already there, of course, because we were brought everywhere as slaves. And yeah, mixed with us, along with the Taino Indians that were there. I'm like, okay. No problem. The bottom line is, and then what made it so sad is how he said the black man. He was like, what y'all worried about the white man so much for? Y'all always worried about the white man and how it oppressed you and blah blah blah. The black man needs to be fearful. What you mean? The black man has nothing to fear when it comes to the white man. Really? Really? The black man has nothing to fear when it comes to the white man. He said, yeah, you know, we Latinos and stuff like that got to go through cops stopping us and wanting to kill us because of African Americans and the way they act. I said, okay. How they want to kill each other and slang drugs and act all ghetto and shit. I said, okay. But you got some of that in every culture. So what are you talking about? You got Puerto Ricans that hate, you know, that do wrong to them. Hell, you got the Middle Eastern people. We had to go into their country and stop them from killing each other. So the African American community is so terrible because they kill each other, right? But other countries do the same thing to each other. So why are you bashing them? Why? What is your motive? I said, at the end of the day, you're mad because you get the same treatment as the African American man because you are the African American man. You are Dominican, you are the African American man. You're Puerto Rican, you're the African American man too. There's no difference. There's no in between. Then when he was like, but y'all want to keep the black card and say that who's black and who's not. Because we earned that culture. Why we can't keep something for ourselves? God damn. Why the African Americans can't keep something for themselves? For once. For real. Why? Oh, no, nobody jocks off the culture and stuff. What? Sweetie. Off the woman alone. If nobody was obsessed, I said it was never called oppression with us. And that's black people. This 400 years of slavery, that's why we're on the rise. It's over. The lock off our brain has been unleashed, sweetie. We know who we are. We are fully aware who we are. Period. It was never an oppression. It was an obsession, just like it is now. It's never been an oppression with blacks and African Americans with the white men. It's been an obsession. Just like when they took how they used to bash us being full-figured women, black people. Us being curvaceous women. Us having big lips and wide eyes. And broad cheekbones. But you took Sarah Baartman and made her the first video vixen. You took Sarah Baartman, who was a voluptuous woman, and put her in a circus for the white men to touch all over her. You exploited her. You pimped her out. And when she died, you took out her organs and you stuffed it and you put it in a museum for the white man to adore. Now today, you have technology and you want to turn your women into us. You want to say that the Nubian is not pretty. It's always the European that was defined as beautiful. Dark skin wasn't pretty, right? But you want to encourage the European to look like us. How is it that you hate us in the way we looked, but you want to look like us? What? You go and tan your skin? Permanent tans you go get, okay? You go get filler in your lips? You do Botox and facelifts to get cheekbones and big cat-shaped eyes? You lay down and get liposuction, all the fat sucked out your body to make an hourglass shape? Well, you at least try because you still don't accomplish it. I mean, it's a whole bunch of clones of us walking around here, and it always has been. It always has been. Nothing but clones. We ain't complaining about that shit. That shit is an honor. That shit is an honor. You could keep wanting to try to reciprocate the black man, but you're never going to. That's why the black man is killed so much. Because he's a threat. He is a threat. No, you don't see them telling the Jewish people or the white people to get, if you want to get on public assistance, kick your man out the house. You know the first thing they do when black women when they created the system of welfare and stuff in order to help the black people that were suppressed and oppressed because we couldn't get jobs and shit. They didn't want to allow us to have certain things. If you want this government assistance, you got to kick your man out the house. Without the man of the household, the black man, the foundation fails. We are fully aware of that now. That shit ain't been holding us back. That shit ain't been holding us back. Period. Black is a culture, obviously, because everybody jocks it. Look at the Kardashians. You ain't never see people are so... I had to put people up on this shit. You ain't never see Kardashians' real hair. I'm gonna say that again. You ain't never seen Kim Kardashian's real fucking hair. You may thought you have. Sweetie, I'm the queen of lace wigs, too. I know lace wigs. Though all celebrities wear them, though. But it's part of the culture. We invented those weaves and shit. Why? Because the white man told us we couldn't fit into society without coiled hair. We couldn't fit into society without coiled hair. It was too rough looking to get a job and stuff. So we had to adapt to wearing hair weave. Yeah. That's why. But yet you jock that style too. But yet you still jock that style too. Right? K. Michelle made a statement one time. I wish I could be famous like Kim Kardashian is for being who I am. That was so hilarious to me. I wish I could get as much credit of being a natural Nubian than the plastic one. How is it that you actually get famous for looking like I do? How is that? Thank you. Thank you, J Dollars. Thank you, Miss Kelly. Thank you, Marisol. Thank you. Thank you, Tuti. It's insane. It's insane. The Catch Me Outside girl, just a prime example. The other girl that was like, she's famous. Famous. I did my ancestry and I'm half black now. White as can be. Blonde hair, blue eyes. She wear lace front wigs. And she imitates the black culture. And she's famous off of it. And that's okay. Because so are we now. Because ain't no fucking pity party. So you can copy us. You can hate us. But we still going to continue to be on top. Like we always been. The only difference is now is that we can accreditate for ourselves. We know how to keep our brand and not sell it to the white man. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Times has changed big time, boo-boo. You must have been talking about that pity party when we was in our feelings. Of course we were in our feelings. And anybody would be in their feelings if they went through what we went through. Had the nerve to say we didn't go through nothing. We didn't go through nothing. Being hung and burned from trees wasn't going through nothing. Being whipped into flesh flew out our bodies wasn't nothing. Being raped by the slave master and then having them stick hangers up our vaginas to pull the babies out of us. That was nothing. When the slave woman neglected the slave master from sexing her and he grabs her son and sodomized her son in front of her face, that was nothing for you? Or when we used to give birth to our children and they would take them and throw them in the river and feed them to the crocodiles, that was nothing? That was nothing, right? We ain't go through nothing, right? Us not being able to read, we ain't go through nothing, right? Right? We ain't go through nothing. We went through a hell of a lot. We still do. And we overcame the shit. We overcame it. And we're going to keep overcoming it. And then when he said that we're minority, that was the biggest factor. I said, sweetie, the biggest minority nationwide itself is white people. That's a proven fact. Why do you think that they've been trying to exterminate us since the beginning of time? Because it's white supremacists. They control the world, the country. It's Illuminati. And that's okay. That's okay. They had to come out with a system so they will not be eliminated because they are the minority. Period. And that's okay. We learned how to overcome the system. That's okay. Just like they targeting us now again, saying that the coronavirus is only attacking black people. It came from China. Now, everybody was mad at China. Everybody was mad at China. But now they're saying it's targeting all black people. And now everybody has even more hate towards black people. Now you see in China, Africans are not being served. They're beating the shit out of Africans right now. It's all part of the system to try to eliminate us. How could you possibly exterminate what is the beginning in the end? And I'm not being boastful. This is true knowledge. This is in the books. This is history, whether you want to prove history scientifically, biblically. This is knowledge. We are the beginning. That's why our blood runs through every fucking vein of a human being. How could you exterminate us? How? The Spanish are becoming the majority of you. What? 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 Sweetie? No. I mean, they mix with us, yes. How you going to exterminate us? Who ain't going to stop loving a black man? Be serious now. That's why they try to wipe out the black man. Because ain't nobody going to stop loving them. They always going to mate with the black man. You always going to mate with us. Just like who going to stop loving a black woman? Even the supremacists that hate us love us. They had sex with us. They fucked us as slaves. Who's being exterminated? Who? These are just systems aligned for more oppression and more hate towards the superior. That's all that is. And it's working on you as a Negro. It's working on you because you're against your own people. I watched a black activist, a scholar, and he said that. And when this came out of that man's mouth, this Hispanic man's mouth, it baffled me. The guy said on the segment And I don't know why. He said, I don't know why I keep trying to mix babies with these Spanish people that just came here not even 100 years ago that were created. He said, I don't know why I keep trying to do that. He said, everybody, he said, we're superior. Everybody's here to destroy us. That's what it's designed for. He said, you want to mix with the Spanish? I know you love us, Miss Kelly. I know you love us. We love you too at the end of the day. Jungle fever, baby. Always. So he said, the scholar said, but nah, y'all wanna take sides with the Puerto Ricans and the Spanish people, but yet they there to destroy you. You want the black card, but don't want to be treated like you're black, right? Everybody wants the black card. We all know that already. Everybody wants the black card, but don't want the conditions that come with the black card. And he had the nerve to agree. So you don't. So you don't deserve that. Yeah, we can give out the black card if we want to. That's ours. Let us keep what's ours in this country. That's our culture we built here. What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? Then had the nerve to say Africans don't even like African Americans. I said, you out your fucking mind. My boy just went to Africa and posted a video. They say welcome home. And they talked about it too. The African, he said, put the camera on the man. And he was like, yeah, they try to say like we're segregated and stuff like that. He said, we the same. You family. He said, this is your home. This is your home. Told the African Americans, this is your home. Welcome home. What you mean? What you mean? It's crazy. But yeah, he said, y'all mixing with them Spanish people, but they out to destroy you. They want to replace you, is what that black scholar said. The Spanish man is out to replace you, exterminate you. Side up with the white man, because he think he could be equal. He's blind. He's brainwashed, obviously, because we had a Dominican talking all the shit to me. He think he can be equal. They want to replace you. And when he said that, I was like, that's why y'all gonna be on your own. Nobody wanna fuck with y'all. He was like, granted, we are all black. Dominicans, we all do share that. Yes. He was like, but y'all, since y'all wanna tell us we ain't black because we had a different slave master, we speak a different language, or we a different color, then we don't wanna fuck with y'all. Y'all gonna be on your own. Sweetie, we've been on our own. African Americans been on their own. We've been on our own. And we on top now. The African American community is more wealthier than the white community that suppressed us. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We don't talk about slavery and what they did to us no more. We talk about how we know the system. All right. We know about organ harvesting now. We know about trafficking. We know about the school system. We know about all the systems now. It's called white supremacy. We know how to, we know we gotta be careful. We know we being watched. We know we targets. But we know how to maneuver through that and be successful. So we can leave a legacy for our kin and our kin. Just like you do. Period. Bottom line. And it works both ways, because one thing he did tell me too, he said, one thing about you, Edith, can't nobody really relate unless they are mixed. Can nobody relate to you? He said, Edith, can't nobody tell you they know how it feels to be you. He said, you got it hard. He said, I'm telling you as a black man, he said, you got it hard. He said, why? He said, because you're not black enough for the African American community, which I get that too. Just because I speak Spanish, or I have a Panamanian father, I'm half South American. I had black people tell me, African American, you're not black. Oh, you ain't black. What you mean I ain't black? What? And then I had Spanish people. I got my Spanish people on this side. Because my skin is this color, I'm not Spanish. I'm not Spanish enough for you. Same here, sis. Exactly. Exactly. It works both ways. Just like, oh, who are we to give out the black card? Who the fuck are you to give out the Spanish card? For real. Cause damn, you better believe it. Spanish people love giving out a Spanish card. Love looking down on somebody who ain't the same skin color as they are or have the same hair texture as they do. So who are you to tell me I'm not Spanish enough? Spanish ain't just light skin. Spanish ain't just curly hair. What? You got Puerto Ricans that's black as coal, sweetie. Black as like 5 o'clock in the morning, sweetie. Literally. You got Puerto Ricans with nappy hair. I'm so sorry to use that term. Forgive me, because that is a nasty term created by the oppressor. I mean coiled hair. What we have, wool hair. You got Puerto Ricans that have coil hair, bull hair. You got black people that's light skinned with green eyes and straight hair. You got black people that's dark skinned with brown eyes and straight hair. You got black people that's light skinned with soft curly hair. That's the beauty of being mixed. Especially with the African descent. I mean, it is what it is. It should never be hate against your own people. That shit scared the shit out of me when he said that. When he was like, oh, y'all gonna be by yourself? I said, damn. First, we was oppressed. We had the blindfold and the lock on our brain. Now was y'all? For real? For real? For real? We gonna be alone? Sweetie, we ain't never been alone. What? You sound crazy. You sound crazy. And go ahead if you want to. Try to take over African American and be the majority. Let us be the minority. Because we already woke. Lock's already off. We know how to get to the top. We've always been at the top. We know how to keep the top now. We know how to keep our own. Go ahead. While you stay brainwashed as a majority, let us become with the white supremacists, the minority. And y'all become slaves like we were. That's fine. That's fine. Since you want your black card. Right? That's fine. It's so sad. It's sad. Everybody thinks my daughter Savannah, my baby girl, is white race and she has green eyes. Very light. Tuti, my daughter too. My daughter is pale. When I tell you pale, like you can see the veins in her face. She has gray eyes with red hair, auburn hair. I have so many of my families. My aunt attached our family tree online down to like from when we were in captivity. And I love my family. I have white people with red hair, blue eyes. They're on my page. They're my blood family. I have Mexicans. In my family. Literally. My family's a melting pot. Literally. Hi, Cuzzo. Speaking of family, goddamn. What's up, Cuzzo? Lisa Barva. How you doing, boo? Love you always. Hell, look, Lisa. Look at her children. My cousins are freaking beautiful. All of us look different. Some of dark skin, Some of us dark skin with light eyes, light skin with light eyes, straighter hair, more coarse hair. My boys are mixed. And when anybody asks them their race, they say black. Facts. Facts. Oh, your boys are too handsome. Oh, Lord. You got some, yeah, you got some beautiful mixed kids, Miss Kelly. That's a fact. A big one. I just got in. Oh, cause we just talking about like the hate in between, like, you know, like within each other, like how Spanish, how you hate your own people. You know what I'm saying? Like how Spanish people hate Spanish people. How you, you know, how, you know, the hate towards each other. Pretty much, that's it. Going off of some factors, I was told. I was asked, you know, about doing my lives. I got inboxed. Hey, he asked me a question. Why do you always defend the African American community and you're not African American? And he had a lot of bad things to say about African American and why our own kind. I mean, he was like, we all the same. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, African Americans, yeah, we all the same. But we don't want to associate with y'all, with African Americans, he was saying, is because of what we portrayed. Being, you know what the white man said we were. Lazy niggas and ain't shit fathers and crack users and, you know what they created. You know, shit like that. God didn't teach love. Amen. Thank you. Yes, I do. Must say thanks. Thanks. Your daughters are beautiful too. Thank you, Miss Kelly. They rotten too. Rotten, spoiled to the core. But yeah, and I want to address that too. After we got all that out the way, right? And I just so nobody's so just in case anybody does feel like he does, right? Like I said, I have a whole list. I had to do my homework. He was misinformed. Yes, he's misinformed completely. Try to give me the definition between race, ethnicity, and nationality, as if that would make a difference. Basically saying that an African American man is and a black man is different. I said, excuse me, an African American man and an African American are two different things. What? Nigga, what? An African American is an African stolen from their plantation. And that's why they call it African American. The hell? We didn't amount to nothing. We didn't do nothing. Sweetie, we're the first everything. First inventors, all of that. Entrepreneurs, scientists, all of that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Look at the black community now. Look at Tyler Perry. Look at Tyler Perry. It's about educating each other. I said, black people are on such a rise. It's not even funny. We're millionaires. Like I was saying, cuz like we're more richer, and it's not being funny. We're more wealthier than the white people now. It's crazy. It's crazy. And when it comes to business with the white people, we could do business with them like nothing. But the only thing, but the most greatest thing is that we're not. We're doing business with ourselves. That's it. And I want to address that. I want to speak to my African American community, because I'm not going to ever stop speaking for African American, because I am an African American. My ancestors were landed on this soil, okay? Period. I am of African descent. I am Panamanian and African. And nobody can take that away from me. Period. But it did hurt to have somebody question me on why I defend the African American community so much. And I never get no feedback. He was like, they don't care. When you make your posts, even when you post about African Americans, they don't care. They don't like it. They don't share it. It's nothing. What are you defending? They're always just going to be these people that blame people for slavery and want a pity party. And they make it hard for us Latinos and everybody that's black along with them. What? That can't be possible. That can't be possible. Because we're all so successful. You got to be fucking up your own pockets. What I want to say to the African American community, our community, we got to do better as well. We came this far. Are we gonna keep going further? But as a culture, as our standards, we bypass the odds what everybody thought that we wasn't gonna do. Okay? Let's change some things that are in the culture. Okay? And that's a fact. It's time. It's time for the black men to stop running away from strong black women because you don't want a foot in your ass. You don't want to be told what's right and what's wrong. Because without the black woman, you're nothing. Behind every great, successful black man especially is a black woman. Without us, you're the head, we are the neck. We're components, sweetie. So stop with a black woman don't understand me because she gets tired of the cycle with you. And vice versa. Vice versa with the woman. I'm gonna touch base on those topics, yes, one by one. But just to sum it up, these things gotta change. Okay? We have to start teaching our children. Teaching your children how to be respectful. Don't teach them about racism neither, like that, because that's a given. They're going to learn that. Period. Teach them about supremacists. There's a difference between racism and white supremacy as far as the system that's aligned against us. Teach your kids about supremacy so the cops could stop gunning them down. Not that it would ever stop, but it'll lessen the chance. Let's start holding ourselves accountable. Let's start picking our pants up off our ass because you're not selling ass. Unless you're a homo thug, okay? Let's stop being grown-ass men selling and slinging drugs, okay? Teach the boys how to be men, not gun target. Okay? Because showing the black boys how to get a bag and how to get drip and fuck bad bitches is what puts a negative name on us and what will continue to keep us in captivity. So we have to change this. Black women too. Get out of the system of public assistance in Section 8 in housing. It is there to oppress you. You don't need it. Because if you have it, you cannot have a black man that you need in your household because they require you to get rid of them. Stop teaching our kids that school, what the oppressor is teaching them in school is going to further them in life. And that's the only way, because no, it's not. Start teaching them skill. Start teaching them who we are. Hell, we damn near invented everything. Why the hell are we teaching our kids that school is the only way to be successful? And it's not. That's not the key to success. You got over 2 million black people with PhDs that are unemployed. Skill. Invest in your child's skill. Teach them the truth. Not what they teach in school. Teach them the truth. Teach them the real shit. Teach them what we know. The ones that are enlightened. Period. It's like Tyler Perry said. It's time that we start being successful and helping each other. Don't be one of those people who like Tyler Perry said, you sit there while you're at the top of the empire and be like, I'm sorry you couldn't come with me. Because your empire will not get that far, sweetie. I assure you. I assure you. Next thing you know, you'll be needing the white man to help you pick it back up, and he'll be owning it, and you'll be owing him. When you get on top as a black man, reach your hand out and extend it to the other black man and help him cross. Not look down upon him because he's a black man that was in the same pit like you was. Extend your hand and help the next man. Just like Tyler Perry made that shit so clear. I built a studio. He has one of the biggest entertainment studios now. A black man. And everybody who wants to be an entertainer, a photographer, or any type of producer in the industry, you go to his school, and he is teaching you how to own your own black business like he did, like he does. He's a scriptwriter. He's a Hollywood scriptwriter. Black man. Though nobody cut his check or do any type of work for him than he does. Steve Harvey owns over 6 networks now and is teaching us how to rise. When you get up on the ladder as a black man, your job is to extend your hand to the next black man. Period. That's your job. And learn as a black man too that your success should be a given. Because oppression, like I said, never existed. It was obsession. They were able to hold us down because we were blinded. We had that lock on us. That lock is done. 400 years of slavery is over. As it is written, so it shall be done, and it is here. Right in front of your face. Success is not the only thing you should be teaching, especially your black sons. Teach your black sons how to be a good man. Period. How to be a God-fearing man. How to be a good man most of all. Teach him the system. Because that's how he's going to survive physically. Teach your man, your black sons, how to be a good king to these black lost queens out here. Teach them that. Teach them that. Teach them about God too, because that's your responsibility. You ain't taking a bag with you to heaven. You ain't taking your legacy with you to heaven. All your deeds and what you do on this earth is what you account for in your eternity. Period. We need to do better. Just like black women too. Stop with the self-hate against black women. Stop being jealous of one another as black women. Stop being jealous of each other as black women. Stop it. Black women, when you're successful too, it shouldn't be a problem for you to extend your hand and try to put somebody on. Hell, you can always guide the horses to the well, but you can't make them drink water. But you did what you were supposed to do. All we have is each other. When you gonna realize that? All we have is each other. You don't see the new form of oppression towards black people now with the coronavirus? Now we the most people that got it now? Really? Just like they said that we was a minority and that was proven lies years ago. Come on now. and the proven fact that around the whole world, the minority is the white man. No offense. Come on now. Black women, stop soliciting yourself naked all over the fucking web to get a like. To get a like. To get some attention by some nigga that hasn't even found his manhood yet. That don't even know how to be a man or respect you as a woman. But you out there taking off your clothes and posting it all online. That's going to be talked about too. And I want to give a prime example of that shit. I don't give a fuck who gets mad. I don't give a fuck if you get mad, black woman. Period. You need to stop. We ain't doing nothing but showing our daughters this shit. How we were fucking put on display in a museum for our body. And we doing exactly what we was exploited for? For real? I be looking at these women, especially grown-ass women, on Facebook, constantly posting naked pictures of themselves. And you got 50 likes, 20 likes. I'm a full-figured woman and I post with full clothes on. And I get 100 and thousands of likes. I had to screenshot it. I screenshotted this girl naked and she got like 10 likes. And I posted a picture of myself with all my clothes on. And I got over 1,000 likes. But you looking for a real man. You ain't gonna find no real man like that. Because a real man don't adore that shit. Period. But then you quick to call the man that hasn't found himself yet. You can't blame that king that's still immature. Don't know how to respect women. You're just like him. Because you're his kryptonite. That goes with his agenda. And then you want to call him thirsty. And you want to call him disrespectful. But you're giving him the sauce. You're giving him the sauce. A man don't need to see your fucking flesh, your body, to see what your silhouette look like. And you're doing it publicly. I understand if you had to do the naked hustle to survive. You know what I'm saying? You stripping or something like that. And sad to say, if you were tricking or escorting, hell, I done been through that. I have, and can nobody judge me? Cause I did it to survive. I did it to survive, literally. I didn't do that for the whole world to see, and to get a like and some messages in my inbox from some perverts. Then to say that black men and our men don't have no respect for us, and it's you who don't have respect for yourself. Like, I mean, you can't want a man possibly that bad, because you ain't gonna get no man. You're gonna get a boy. A nasty ass thirsty little boy is what you're gonna get when you exempt behavior like that. Hell, just like if you're a grown ass woman. And things gotta change after a while. Like I said, it would be a problem for me if I was 30 years old still stripping in a strip club or escorting. We have to change. You can't demand respect and you're not respecting yourself. And it be baffling me, especially on social media, because it's like you're not even getting paid. You don't get paid. You ain't making bread to sit there and actually humiliate yourself and post yourself like that online. You getting a like? For real? Naked? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. If you want to, it's no problem to want to feel sexy and show off your sexiness and show that you are sexy, you are that woman. Absolutely. You can do that with your clothes on. That's even more sexier. Because a man can see your figure And now he has to imagine and actually want you. He has to actually want you. He has to be able to want to pursue you. Not you already come with the box open. For real? For real? For real? Yeah, black women gotta change too. Yeah, black women, not letting their kid, the father see their kids because he don't got that much money. Because a nigga can't buy he can't buy your son a pair of Jordans. At least he want to be in your child's life. Not everybody becomes a man overnight. I understand shit get hard, yeah. But if that man is actually a good father and want to be in that kid's life, and can't buy him bulks of stuff all the time, you shouldn't stop that man from wanting to see the child, or put him on child support. Then next thing you know, you ended up with less. Come on now. A lot of kids growing up thinking that they have a deadbeat father, and they don't. They got a bitter baby mother. That's all it is. All it is. Black women don't know how to co-parent. Period. You can't take to see the man move on. Oh, you got a girlfriend? You can't be around my baby. Oh, she can't. Oh, you can't see your child. 'Cause he got a girlfriend. His visitation is not good. He gotta miss a whole weekend of visitation because he's in a relationship. So because he's a father of your child, he's supposed to be single for the rest of his fucking life? Does that make sense? Black woman? No. You done turned your child into a fatherless child. Into a bastard. You. It works both ways. Like I said, I'm not just saying that's just the women, because you do got some ain't shit niggas. I'm saying keyword. I said if that man wants to be in that child's life, if, because we got a lot of us our brothers out here too. That ain't shit. It ain't a problem to not wear a condom and nut up in a female, but because I don't want to be in a relationship, or no. It wasn't like that. You don't want to take care of the seed now. Because you don't want to pursue her. You didn't want to seriously pursue her. The vagina was serious enough to nut in. But the baby, the fact of the matter, the baby that came after that semen is not serious enough to pursue. You guys ain't shit neither. That shitty behavior need to stop. And this is what people talk about with being African American. We got to change that shit. We have to change it. Being ghetto and oh, I want to fight that bitch and all that Cardi B behavior. I'm gonna rephrase that, because that's traditional African American behavior. Just because we were placed and oppressed and placed in the projects didn't mean that you had to piss up the elevators and graffiti in the hallways. I mean, come on. Some things we do have to blame on ourselves. Period. Bottom line, we do. Because we get put down for it, obviously. Prime example. You don't see none of these ghetto project girls famous, rich and famous. Hell, a lot of them are talented and can rap better than Cardi B. Got bars. Bars. You hear me? I used to freestyle shit. Well, I ain't grew up in no projects, but I'm just giving an example. You see those African American girls in the projects with that attitude and broke. But you have Cardi B, who had accustomed the same culture of yours and became famous for it. Does that not tell you something? Be serious. This shit has to stop. Stop. It has to stop. being ghetto, the ghetto mentality, the ghetto behavior is not cute. It's not cute. The hate that we have in our own community. For prime example, I think the girl was in Chicago. She, 18 years old, 18, 19 years old, opens her own beauty salon. Self-made black entrepreneur, young girl. Yeah, ran up in her own kind, African American, ran up in her salon and killed her. Killed her. What they got? I think she had like $3,000 of worth of her hair supplies and stuff. Like she's just getting her business together. Why did you do that? Why do we do that? The same opportunity that black women had is the same opportunity we all have as a community. Why? Why? It's time for the men to stop slinging drugs and killing each other. It's time to stop. I understand you got to get it how you live it, but it shouldn't become a lifestyle. I know guys that sold drugs for years growing up with them. And they're literally, I'm talking about, I'm going to be 30 this month. So when we were 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, even into their late 20s, now they are entrepreneurs. So they got somewhere with their hustle, whether it was right or wrong. They didn't steal from nobody. They didn't have to kill each other to do it. They became a man and moved forward. And how some of them moved together. You know, that brother extended his hand like you should. Help your brother cross. Period. Not still slanging drugs and hanging with your pants low. I be seeing 30-something, 40-something year old men posting up in the club talking about drips. That what? What? Wow. You just got a whole bag and you bought a fucking drip. You bought drip instead of investing in some. You talking about drip. What is your credit score? Work on your credit score. Okay? Like, come on. They be like, oh, my ops. They be talking about, oh, I got an op. How you 30-something, 40-something year old as man talking about you got beef? You got an op. What are you doing with an op? Hell, even in your 20s. Especially when you know your late 20s and you got a father and you're a father. Just prime examples, people. Just prime examples. And that's very minute. Shit gotta change, like I stated, as a community. Because obviously, you have another, as an African American community, you have another target on you. It's not just the supremacist, it's not just the white man. It's not. You got your own man. Your own man. Your own man. Just like the doctrine said on a segment I wrote. You got your own man. Now you got your own Spanish man, your own brother, downing you. Talking about plotting against you. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But like I said though, we woke. Ain't nobody crying fucking wolf. That shit was that oppression. That shit ain't no oppression. That shit was an obsession. Period. In African American community, you do own a black card. That's the culture you created here. Y'all created cultures. We created cultures for everybody else all around the world. And for the country that we landed in here, this is the culture that we created. The African American culture. Here. Black is the African American culture that we created for America. Period. Okay? Yeah. You can own that card. You don't need to give it out. Everybody jocks it. Everybody wants the black card. Everybody want to be black. We already established that shit. Everybody. Period. But they don't want to be. They don't want to be the treatment. They don't want what comes with being black. So yeah, we gotta change generational habits. Absolutely, generational habits is exactly what we gotta change. Cause everything else is already got. We done changed a lot, a lot. Need I say more? We're more wealthier than the white men. That's crazy. I had to really, like, it took me a long time yesterday to actually write, first black activists, the freedom fighters who fought for slavery. It took me hours to write this shit. Y'all seen all the pages I have written down. First, who invented music? Who invented this? Who invented that? Who invented that? Who invented that? Who invented that? Black, 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 black. So what happened? We overcame. We just wasn't allowed to claim it or reap benefits from it. Period. So just to enlighten, I will never stop fighting for my African American community because I am African American. I am an African woman who was brought here. My ancestry is African American. Period. They're Africans that were brought to America. That's why it's called African American. That's a no fucking brainer. They're African people that were brought to America. And let me just educate you on African real quick. You'll be like, I'm African descent. I'm African. I'm of African descent, so I'm African. Are you? Okay. I had an African actually enlighten me on this. What do you mean? I asked him. He said, I'm from Africa. I said, oh, you're African? He said, what? He said, I'm Nigerian. He said, why people think that? He said, what? He said, that's only you here in America. He said, I think that was explained to you to make it easier for your mind. He said, that's not what it is. He said, Africa's a continent. He said, why not Americans call us a country? That's not our ethnicity. That's not our race. He said, Africa is the country. That's the continent. He said, that's like me calling you. He said, that's like you being Puerto Rican and you're from North America, me calling you North American. Categorizing all y'all Spanish people from North America, North Americans. Not giving you your name. I said, okay. He said, no. Africa's a continent. Ethiopia, Nigeria, Ghana, Morocco. Those are the nationalities. Those are the nationalities. So anyway, yes, my ancestries were Africans, just like I think everybody else's was. But mine happened to be landed in America. And of course, some in Panama, my father being Panamanian. But yeah, so will always be African American and Hispanic. Bottom line. Period. And I'm always going to defend the African American community because I stand along with them. Period. Always. Always. Now, will I continue to fight for you? Is another story. Because it's time that we do make big changes, like as far as generational habits. Because it hurt me to a core to have been asked that question. Why do I defend the African American community and I'm not African American? They don't care what you have to say. They don't like nothing. They don't share nothing. They don't care about that. They don't care. Okay. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody else also, all the viewers that tuned in prior. I know y'all got lives and shit. Y'all had other stuff to do. Thank you very, very, very much. This had to be, I just wanted to talk about it because, like I stated, as an African American community, the white man is not your only enemy now. It's not. It's not. From what I'm told. I was clearly told that. Yeah, that it is. That it is. You're gonna be by yourself. None of us want to fuck with you. That's how all Dominicans feel, Puerto Ricans feel. That's how we feel as a whole. Haitians, Jamaicans, yeah, everybody. What? Even though it's comical, because can't nobody exterminate us. Yeah. Just know what we face. Like, we already know there's a difference between we don't give a fuck about racism. Racism ain't keeping us poor no more. Racism ain't keeping us uneducated no more. Who gives a fuck about racism? We talking about white supremacy. We talking about why we superior. We talking about why they want our organs. We talking about why 157,000 black women went missing last year, and then they came out saying that they came out with a womb transfer for people that can't have kids, or the gay men that want to carry babies. So 157,000 black women went missing last year, and then you came out with a womb transfer? Where the fuck you got the wombs from? Come on now. We all enlightened on this shit now. We are fully much aware. We're dealing with white supremacists. Okay? We don't give a fuck about racism. We don't care about oppression. That's past. We don't care about that. Our eyes are open. We were never oppressed. We were obsessed with. Obsessed with. That's what the white supremacy is for. That's what it's aligned for, the system. Because the white is a minority. So that's why they had to become a group, a high systematic group, the Illuminati, to control, to keep their existence, because they are minority. That's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Period. There is no oppression here. We ain't lost no. We ain't fucking lost. We ain't done. We wide awake. We woke. We woke on this shit. Racism ain't holding us down. That Ben stopped holding us down. And nobody ain't crying about that shit no more. I was baffled. Like, where do you see this? Show me these people that crying about this shit for real. Because the only time I see black people, besides the celebrities like Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey, who enlighten us black people and give us the speeches on how to become entrepreneurs and stuff like that, you see nothing but young entrepreneurs telling us how to get it. I'm seeing entrepreneurs by the dozen. I just made my first $1 million, and they showing you the shit in less than a year from educating you. From posting webinars on showing how I built my credit from 400 to 850. Educating black people. Supporting each other. We're becoming successful by supporting each other. And that is the key. We have to support each other. African American community, we are superior. And everybody has always been against us. It's time that we support each other. Yes, we are all the same. Black, brown, Afro-Latina, Latina, black. We're the same. But however, some people don't define as so, And people don't think so. Some people are ashamed of that. And want to oppress, But how long has this been? That was a long combo, guys. 122, an hour and 22 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, my people. I love y'all. Like my video, please. Like my video, my people. And share. I would definitely appreciate that for once. Nah, y'all do show me love. But, yeah. Y'all could like it and share it. Thank you very much. Hi, Mr. Martinez. Hey, Bruce. How you doing? God bless you. Thank you, guys. Peace out. And you already know what it is. I'll be tuning back in. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that needs to, that we need to just work on. Absolutely. A lot of stuff that always needs to be addressed. Hey, boo. It's a lot of stuff that always needs to be addressed, period. I'm doing good, either just hearing what you got to say. Oh, I'm done. I am done. I've been talking for an hour and a half now. You're more than free to rewind. Hit rewind. But just talking about pretty much Mr. Martinez, the oppression. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, I was inboxed, okay, by a Spanish person. We're both Spanish, and we know each other. And, he had asked me, relating to each other. Edith, he was like, we were talking about nationality, just going into depths of what's nationality, race, and ethnicity. So, we got that clear and came across, and how we're all, how the African descent is everywhere. There's no place on earth that the African has not touched. No soil, period. African runs through every human being's bloodline, whether it's 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever. However, he asked me, why is it that I defend African American community? And I said, because at the end of the day, to society, I am an African American woman. No matter, what language I speak, no matter what I'm mixed with. At the end of the day, I am an African American woman. He was asking why I defend the African American community so much, and then he went to elaborating on saying that he's all for the African American community. He just don't fuck with them. He was like, I'm a black man. He was like, but the African American community said I wasn't wanted because, he was like saying that how African Americans, like, they hold the black card. Like, because, if you're lighter skinned than them and you speak Spanish, he was like, because I had a different slave master and I speak Spanish. He was like, we're the same, but I just had a different slave master. You're going to say I'm not black like you? I can't be black. I'm not black enough. Yeah, so just different factors on that. It goes way deeper because he has said a lot of hate towards African American. A lot. And towards Puerto Ricans. Towards a lot. Towards everything, pretty much. Really not towards the Dominican, though. I found that hilarious. I had to put my 2 sentences about the Dominicans in. But yeah, I won't stand for any type of bullshit. I have a Puerto Rican daughter. I have my ancestors from Africa were brought here to America, so I am an African American. My ancestors are African American. Period. My father, I am the only one of my siblings who has a Panamanian father. My sibling's father is African American, so that means my siblings are African American. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But I touched on I spoke a lot of facts in this video. I exposed a lot on the Hispanic end too, because one thing he did say to me that I related to him with, he said, Edith, can't nobody, unless they define like you, can nobody relate to you. Nobody can relate to you. A dark-skinned Hispanic woman that's full-figured, got the features of an African. He said, but you're mixed. He said, so you lay in the middle where you get denied by both parties, which is true. I'm not African American enough for black people because I speak Spanish and I can cook Spanish food and stuff. And I'm not Spanish enough for the Spanish community because maybe my hair is a different texture or I'm darker. As if Spanish people were just gift to God and just only light skin and straight hair. And no, you're describing a European. But yeah. And I said that. It's true. Who are you? Who just like who are black people to say I'm not black enough, and who the hell is Hispanics to give out a Hispanic card? You want to say black people, they feel like it's okay to give out the black card? That's our culture. African American people, the black culture is the culture. African American people, culture was stolen from them. Remember, we were brought to America. So we speak the white man language. We have the white man religion. Hello. So yeah, that's our card. Everybody wants the black card. Everybody imitates the black man and the black woman, period. Everybody wants the black card until it's time to get treated like the black person. And he agreed on that. So hell no, you ain't superior enough to have a black card then. You ain't go through what the black go through. And if you don't have what it takes to have the black card then. Period. And it's like I said to my Spanish people, who the freak are you to tell me and think that you can give out a Spanish card? Who are you? My blood runs through your veins. How you gonna give me a Spanish card? it was crazy going on, you know, like as far as like how the Spanish people only Hispanics race hasn't even been here. It was like created pretty much. Hasn't even been here for over 100 years. I don't want to touch base on that part though, what he said, as far as that part and the stuff with the Puerto Ricans, period. But yeah, my video was done, everybody. Thank you for watching. You feel free to rewatch it and tune in and listen to the jewels that were dropped. That's the point of me taking my time out and doing these videos for my people. Because we need to keep being enlightened. Because we have more than one enemy. And one of our enemy is a common enemy. And that shit's crazy. Crazy. So I love you guys. I love you all, everybody. Have a good night and God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what I liked, I'm sorry if, you know, the message, like sometimes is like a little like blunt. But that's the only way I can be. Period. Because I love you. I love you. That's why I'm real. I have to be real with you. I can't sugarcoat no shit. So the message has to get put across. I'm sorry if I can't say the message like this all the time. Like that. I try as much as I can. But I can't all the time. Yeah. Like the message. Share it to show support. Being that I am not a, you know, I got the dumbbell on my head pretty much because I support the African American community. And I'm not considered African American and they don't give a fuck. Good night. Good night, Bruce. Love you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Valerie, for watching.